These who have done the research right here in Connecticut have said to the world, we know that this is a fact, but we cannot explain it. We don't know how to support it, but it's real. The figures and the research speaks very eloquently to the fact that fathers have a very, very significant role in the life of the family, in the lives of their children. And so I say to mothers, encourage fathers and encourage your husband to participate in the life of your children. Yeah. Whether it is dressing the baby or going to a doctor's appointment. Lord have mercy. Men, we will still be friends. Fathers, we will still be friends after I finish preaching, but I can't help but preach the truth. Because I told you, when my wife had her first baby, Lord have mercy. The baby was waking up so often. After a time, you know what? Of course, I laid there and I slept. And when I was not sleeping, I was pretending to be sleeping. Because it was tough, man. It was rough. Pretending to be sleeping. You know, and in my mind, this whole socialization says, why are you waking me up? This is a woman's job. Man, I say away with those myths. God has a special design and purpose for making men and making fathers. Yes. And why have we isolated ourselves from the very heart of that which God has called us to do? And as fathers, if you are not involved in your children's life, I mean, in a very meaningful way, in a very playful way, if you do not take time to hug your daughters and to affirm your sons, the truth is that the first man your daughter will know is her father. And he needs to tell her what manhood is all about. And it has been shown that those fathers who fail to hug their daughters and to speak to them and to share special moments with them, to pray with them and to play with them and to do fun things with them, those daughters, of course, in many cases are challenged to understand how to relate to man. You must teach them how to do that. That's your job. Don't sit down. Lord have mercy. Don't sit down as if your only job is to watch television while the pot is cooking. By the way, if as a man you do not know how to cook, shame on you. Learn to cook, man. The wife is the queen of the home, but you are the king. So you ought to go and pick up the broom and do the stuff that needs to be done. Are you with me? Yes. Yeah. Have mercy. Have mercy. Man, I have a lot of ladies in here who will protect me after the sermon. I'm going to preach. You know, children, in a very serious note, children, the best thing that a father can do for the children, of course, I saw that quote many years ago, is to love their mother. Best thing that a father, a husband can do for their children, for his children, is to love their mother. Amen. And when you care for your wife in a very special way, in the context of family, your children get a very healthy picture of what relationship looks like, what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yes.
Create that picture. Create that picture. Your son needs to not only see you succeed all the time, but also to see you fail.
Yes, sir.
Are you with me? Sometimes as men we believe that because we are fathers, our sons should only see our success. No! Listen, man. Life also has failures.
Yeah.
But the truth is you can teach that boy a very deep lesson, that how to respond to failure, how to deal with failure, so that when he fails, he will not think that's the end of the world. He will know that his dad failed many times, but rose up and do what he needs to get done, or do what he needs to do. He knows that it's okay to say sorry. Are you with me?
Yes.
He knows it's okay to say I love you when you say to your wife, have mercy. Have mercy. This world is paying the price, a very steep price, for a fatherless generation. And I don't want to bore you with the statistics this morning, but just to say that 63% of youth suicide are from fatherless homes, 5 times the average. 90% of all homeless and runaway children are from fatherless homes, 32% of the national average. 85% of all children who show behavior disorder are from fatherless homes, 20% above the average. 80% of the rapists with anger problems came from fatherless homes, 14 times the average. The world is paying a very steep price for fatherless homes. And by fatherless, I don't just mean being present. Are you with me? Because you can be present, but your eyes and your heart can be somewhere else. I'm talking about being emotionally present. Being emotionally present. To look in the eyes of your daughter, of your son. And I must tell you that, of course, I never had that experience with my own father to tell me anything about manhood or as a young man what I should do. And I struggle in my experience, of course, with my son. But he will tell you that we have meetings often where I sit down one-on-one and ask him about his life. Amen. Look, it does not mean that your son or your daughter, your children will come out perfect children, because they're no perfect children, because they're no perfect parents. But all you have to try to do by the grace of God is to be a good enough father. Sit down with your children, your son, your daughter, one-on-one, and just talk to them. Let them empty their souls. Let them know that you are concerned about what's happening in their lives. And it's okay. Create that place where there's no, it's okay to talk to daddy about this. If you create that environment, if you're always passing through like a train without stop or without brakes, and you're always busy doing the nice things around the home, but never connecting with their hearts, they will never believe and they will never understand that, you know, it's okay to talk with them and okay to share their emotions and their feelings. 70% of all of the high school dropouts, of course, comes from fatherless homes. 9% of the average. 75% of all adolescent parents in chemical abuse centers comes from fatherless homes. 10% above the average. 70% of youth in state-owned institutions comes from fatherless homes, 9% above the average. The price of a fatherless generation. There's a Spanish story of a father and a son who had become so estranged. The son ran away from home, and the father set out to find his son. The story said that he searched for months to no avail. Finally, in the last, maybe in desperation, he placed an ad in the Madrid, of course, newspaper. And the ad read, "Dear Paco, meet me in front of this newspaper's office at noon on Saturday. All is forgiven. I love you." That's the message. So the father, of course, his heart breaking and bursting, just to do something out of desperation. I do not even believe that he believed that Paco would have turned up in front of the newspaper's office. But on that Saturday, he went there just out of desperation that his son would have gotten the message and come to the office of that office in front of the newspaper